How do we balance the things that we love and how they affect the people that care about us?
So I've had this question on my mind for the last couple of weeks. It's really been bothering me, actually. I feel guilty for wanting to find a relationship, even though that's like what people naturally want to do. But it's because my entire lifestyle is like incredibly risky. And part of me wonders, does anybody like actually think about that before they get in a relationship? Do people just get into relationships like without any type of thought like that? Because when I think back on the relationships my parents had and my family members had, I don't think most of them were planning out before they got into it, fully exactly what they wanted that relationship to be. And maybe I'm just reading into it too much. There's people with riskier lives than me, but, looking at the EUC and then trying to imagine, is it fair to somebody to try to get in a relationship when my entire lifestyle is basically self-destructive? Like, that does not really seem fair to me. And so the other night, I'm laying in bed. I literally can't fall asleep. I'm so stressed out. And I had to start journaling. I'm not a person who journals, in case y'all didn't know that. And I literally had to start writing stuff down because my brain was so full of thoughts that I couldn't even fall asleep. It's not like I want to get hurt while I'm riding either, I try my best not to get hurt while riding. That's why I wear all this protective gear. Something I realized lately, though, there's no protective gear that can save you from getting your heart broken, which is something that's happened to me more than a few times. And, part of me wonders, is this feeling of guilt and shame just an excuse so I don't have to get hurt again? Which is like obviously, that's obviously BS, because the people who have lived way more dangerous lives than me, and they seem to have no problem, having children, having a family. I'm definitely not staying single for the rest of my life. I just don't see that. I really don't see that. And it's not like I haven't dated people before. Like, I didn't ever think about this, before, and I've always kind of lived a dangerous life. And then there's another part of me that wonders, how much of this feeling of needing to find somebody is internal versus external? Like, do I actually want to find someone to be with, or is this like all the influence of all the media and music and movies that I've consumed ever since I was a child? I sort of wonder how much of this desire is coming from me and how much is from that. So that's really my big question. Is it immoral to want to find a relationship even though your entire lifestyle puts your own life at risk, and then the person you're with is going to constantly be worried about that? That to me doesn't seem like a really moral way to live, and I feel like as I've gotten older, that's something I care about a lot more. So what do I do about this, right? Because if I imagine myself just being single forever, that's like a non-option. And then when I think about trying to fully commit to a relationship, it feels like it's going to be really hard to just be me, because I've got all these thoughts in my head about morality and honesty and duty, and it's like, and how much of that is even from me and how much is just from TV shows and movies? Like, dude, this is really frustrating.
The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are.
I wish I had an easy answer for you guys, but I don't. It's been driving me nuts. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Do you have any solutions? Just let me know.